So hello again, boys and girls. Had a lot going on lately. A lot of front end work on the old 78 Toyota pickup long bed. And unfortunately I did ball joints last weekend. Yeah. And unfortunately I did not record it. They're bolt-in units. They're pretty easy to do. There's plenty of videos on YouTube about doing them on the earlier Toyota pickups. Anything up to like an 89 or 90 is about the same. Just be careful with that lower control arm and the coil spring in the front if you've got it. I think they changed that out to torsion bars in 80 or 81. Anything further back is going to have a coil spring, so you just got to be careful not to have that coil spring come flying out of there when you lower that lower control arm to get the knuckle off. But anyway, short one here before I get on to doing tie rod ends. Sway bar bushings. Now, this is of course, not the correct picture, but you get the idea. That's the part number. Got these from Rock Auto. It was a really good deal. Just regular rubber, not going with the urethane. It has a long bolt. It's got 4 of these little dish cups. It's got 4 of these. It's got a spacer, and it's got a nut. Let me show you. There's one up here, because there's a little trick to this. A couple little tricks that help you put them on easier. As I get on the ground. Here we go. Now, see that arm on the bottom control arm that goes into? It doesn't have the cups in it like the sway bar itself does. So, those bushings are too thick. You put the bolt in from the bottom, thread side up. You put a cup and you put a bushing and thread through the hole, and you put a bushing and a cup, and then you put the spacer, and then you put a cup and a bushing, thread through the hole and a bushing and a cup, and then the nut. By the time you get there, there's not any thread showing for the nut to go on the bolt. So, let me show you something. Come on back here. Put this out in the light so you can see it. And you see that little lip on the top here? Okay. This is how they come. What happens is with these older trucks and that arm not having the hole big enough for that to drop into, you won't have the thread up top. So I just took a knife, very sharp knife, and I sliced this little top part off. See, basically it translates into these little rings. Just like that. I mean, they're like 1/16 of an inch. Slice them off the bottom 2 bushings. Put your cup, your bushing through the hole in the bottom arm. Bushing, cup. Those are the 2 that you want to put in that you've trimmed. Okay? Leave the other 2 alone. Put them in as normal. And you should have just enough thread at the top to get your nut on. And tighten it down. And by the way, there's some discussion about torque spec on this. Some say 10, some say 12, some say 14. I just went ahead and did them at 12. They seem plenty firm. And of course, make sure you use a little glue Loctite or thread locker on that nut so they don't come loose. I've had that problem before. And again, once you get them in there, run it around about 25, 50, 100 miles, come back in there, recheck them, make sure everything's nice and tight. But that's what I got on the bushings right now. I'm going to see about doing some recording on the tie rod ends because I really couldn't find anything specific about these earlier models. And the later models are very, very similar. But, hey, it could be different. So if I can get it recorded, I'll post it up for you. Any questions about this, let me know. No problem. Thanks for watching.